You know, AI is changing pretty much everything about how we live and work. But it raises a really big question. Is the automotive industry getting left in the dust? That's what we're digging into, and it's based on a pretty serious warning from analyst David Rozek. In the author, he doesn't pull any punches. This quote right here gets straight to the point. This isn't some gentle suggestion. No, it's a wake-up call. While everyone else is jumping in, the car business seems to be sitting on the sidelines, hoping AI is just some fad. But let's be real, spoiler alert, it's not going anywhere.
So that brings us to the core of the problem, what we're calling the AI wake-up call. Because this isn't about some flashy new piece of software. We are talking about a fundamental, tectonic shift in how business gets done. And when you put other industries side by side with the auto world, well, the difference is pretty shocking.
And here's where you see this huge split, right? In other fields, people just started using AI. They figured out how to be more productive all on their own, from the ground up. But in the car business, it's often a story of top-down paralysis. Endless meetings, drawn-out vendor talks. The pace is just way too slow. And that's not just a delay, it's costing them.
Which leads to this really critical question. Kind of makes you stop and think, doesn't it? If the industry keeps moving this slowly, it's not just going to be a few steps behind. It could be whole laps behind the competition.
And this isn't just a hunch or somebody's opinion. The numbers back this up big time. The gap between the auto industry and, well, everyone else, it's real. You can measure it, and it is growing faster than you'd think.
Just get a load of these numbers. We're talking about going from 100 million weekly users to a projected 700 million in less than 2 years. I mean, that's a 7-fold increase. Fads don't do that. You know what does? Revolutions. This is what it looks like when a tool goes from nice to have to absolutely essential.
And this right here reveals what the author calls the knowledge divide. It's not just about if people are using AI, it's about who. Almost half of all workers with grad degrees are already using it. Think about that. They're getting faster, they're getting smarter, and they're creating a huge competitive advantage over everyone else.
So what does this actually look like down on the dealership floor? Well, on one side, you've got the old way of doing things, reading from scripts, making generic calls, using the same old tired language. And on the other side, you have what's possible with AI. We're talking real, personalized conversations that actually build trust and, drive profits. The opportunity being missed here is just massive.
So you gotta ask, right? If the benefits are this clear and the risks of doing nothing are so high, why is the industry lagging? The author argues it's got nothing to do with the technology itself. It is a cultural problem.
Yeah, these barriers are baked right into the culture. You see leaders who just ignore new tech because they don't get it. You see great ideas from younger team members get shot down, and you hear that classic excuse, "We're just being cautious," when really, it's just a fear of change. And every single month that this goes on, that competitive gap just gets wider and wider.
Okay, so that's the problem. But it's not all doom and gloom. There is a way out of this. The source actually lays out a super clear, actionable plan for any dealership that's decided it's tired of falling behind and is ready to actually compete. And here it is, the roadmap. And look, it's not some crazy, expensive overhaul. It starts small. Just dedicate a little time for your team to play with the tools. From there, you start weaving AI into your actual day-to-day work, you empower your people to find solutions, and you find partners who know what they're doing to help guide you. It's a simple plan. It's an achievable plan. All right, let's bring this all home with the author's final warning. It's a really powerful way to end things, and it drives home just how high the stakes are if we choose to do nothing. Seriously? Let that sink in for a second. The biggest threat might not be the dealership down the street. It could be some tech company, a total outsider who sees this huge opportunity that the industry is ignoring, and they could use these very same tools to completely change the game of selling cars.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? It brings that whole metaphor right back around. The choice here isn't just about adopting a new tool. It's about deciding if you're going to be on the ship sailing into the future, or if you're going to be the one left standing on the dock just watching it disappear over the horizon.